Arbiter, you are unusually quiet. What troubles occupy your thoughts?
Hierarch, I do not wish to be impudent, but you have charged me with the destruction of humanity.
A most noble cause for one with such a troubled past.
And I am thankful for my task. But sire, you have me skulk in ancient ruins and search empty temples. How does this help me accomplish my goal?
The war with the humans will require a great deal many more machines than we can currently muster.
I will take what we have.
And leave us defenseless? No. The ancients will provide for us. This world shall be the birthplace for an invasion fleet beyond imagining. Enough to crush the humans quickly and with ease.
But this world lies dormant. It is just a shell.
Blasphemy! The key will be found with patience. But perhaps there is a quicker way. The human female from the ice relic. She has some knowledge in this regard. The new planet the relic has led us to has also led her. Capture that human and bring her here.
It will be done.
Hello everybody, this is Phoenix bringing you the 7th mission of my Halo Wars Legendary Walkthrough Guide. This is probably the most difficult mission in the game, and this is Scarab. This mission is difficult simply because of how much RNG there is. You don't know how long it takes before the Scarab attacks you. It's kind of weirdly scripted on how often it attacks you, how much damage it does, and simply how the Scarab works. It's just extremely weird. So in this mission, I recommend going for speed. Try to get this mission done as fast as you possibly can. In previous iterations, I did Warthogs. In this iteration of the video, I am going to show you guys how to use tanks and hopefully get that gold medal. I'm going to put up some turrets, base defenses as usual. Gonna get the Grenadier. That way we have that extra Warthog kind of just sitting here for extra damage. Make it a little bit more combat efficient. As for these rhinos, they give you 2 rhinos. What you're going to want to do with them is you're going to want to protect them. You're going to want to protect them by having them next to a turret. In this case, what we're going to do is we're going to put the plasma rhinos right next to each turret on each side of the base. Going to lock down the rhinos as well. I'm going to have Sergeant Force continue going around for supplies. They gave you a lot of supplies on this mission, so you're going to be able to get your base up really quickly. Going to get those heavy supply pads up as fast as possible as well. And we're going to use this Scorpion. By timing this searchlight beam, we're going to want to attack as soon as it passes by. That way we take out that first node as fast as possible. We aren't going to go get that achievement, which is not destroy any of the nodes. If you're going to try to do that on normal difficulty where it'll be much easier to do. Use the cover as usual to take out the node. You're not going to want to sit out in the open. Take your time. Those grunts will not do enough damage to you early on in the mission. So don't worry about how long your tank is just chilling there. After you destroy one of the nodes, take out the remaining forces nearby. Of course, get your power turret as fast as possible. This mission is really awesome because you have all the time in the world. Not all the time, sorry, because again, you are on a timer, but you have all the supplies in the world to get a lot of tanks up quick. So, basically with this, you're going to want to, again, time each and every single interval as soon as it passes. That way you can take out another node. You can do a lot of these middle nodes relatively quickly because of how little, like how small their defenses are, like how little units they have in the area. And what this also does is by clearing out the area, you can send Forge or somebody to go gather the supplies around the map, which we're going to do later on. Going to micro away, that way we just don't get the searchlight beam on top of us. Alright, looks like we timed that perfectly. So with both of the upgrades for the power turret, we're just going to start getting those Scorpions out as fast as possible. We have 3 queued up. We're going to grab more supplies around our base. Black box in the skull. I think the skull triggers after 10 locusts, and the black box is in the top, most northeastern section of the map. So You're going to want to... So basically where the Scarab is, look a little bit to the right. That's where the black box is. I will also be getting that. But right now we're just worried about taking out those nodes. Remember, you're on a set timer. So remember, you want to do this stuff as fast as possible. Be most efficient with your time. If you're not efficient with your time, you are going to lose this mission. A lot of the time, if you fail this mission, it's simply because you're just not being efficient with the time. Or the timing is simply just not there yet. So I recommend a lot of practice on this mission. This mission is probably going to frustrate a lot of you. But I promise you, again, the RNG will favor you one of these times. And you're just going to simply get it. It will all click. And you'll be able to get this done relatively quickly. Remember that you do have those hunters and those locusts. Locusts are building killers, and the hunters are going to be able to take down any of your forces. That's why we do have the turrets there. We're going to give them the flame mortar tech as well. That way they can take out the hunters relatively quickly. We have 3 scorpions. We're going to be able to move out in a few moments. Once that searchlight passes, we're going to go up to the to the node closest to the Scarab. I'm sorry, guys. I simply can't talk today for some reason. I apologize about that. But I'm going to try to clarify a little bit more. So, as you're going across, make sure you're taking out units, making sure it's easier for you to get across. Use your canister shell to take out the nodes, and then you can micro away if you're taking too much damage from, let's say, hunters or locusts or anything like that. You're going to have plenty of downtime to heal up. Again, you're going to want to time these. You're going to want to time those attacks in between when the searchlight passes your base. So, the shortest distance for it to attack you is from where the black box is to the middle of your to the outer right side of your base. So, you want to time it where you're getting the most amount of time to do damage, and then you come back to your base. You want to time it where you can get out of your base safely and get back to your base safely. If you don't do that, you are going to have a lot of casualties. That's going to really wreck your combat score, and you're just simply not going to have a good time. That's the 5th node we've taken out. We're trying to be extremely careful, being extremely smart with our guys. We don't need to lose any of these tanks. We don't want to, simply because it's going to take a damper on how fast we're able to do this mission. Just like I have done in the previous missions, I'm not really going to concentrate that much on field upgrades. It's simply just not going to do well for you. I would recommend really just putting a lot of your money into getting your force up as fast as possible. If you really want to go field upgrades, I recommend just simple ones like medium turret and reinforcements, and that is it. Destroy it and then get a heavy supply pad, heavy supply pad. That way you can get more resources. Because you're going to need to be able to, whenever a scorpion goes down, you're going to want to get one immediately out as fast as you possibly can. Going to wait for that pass one more time, and we're going to take out the last of the, I'm sorry guys, one of the nodes. I did say flame mortar. This time I got railgun. I mix up the runs sometimes. I apologize. You're going to want to get the railgun for the locust, not the flame mortar, because we do have the rhinos for that. And Forge is really good against hunters. So as soon as it passes the midpoint of your base, that little searchlight, you're going to want to go out and take out the node to the farthest, to the most northwestern side of your base. Taking out units as you go. There is a kind of a glitch that I've noticed when it comes to this. If you got one of your marine squads inside the sniper tower, you can... Sometimes it glitches and the Marines just don't take any damage, and you can just kind of sit there and just kind of beat that mission without even taking out a node, because you're going to have those Marines there that are going to just consistently, they're invincible, so they're going to be able to take out take the damage of the Scarab and keep it distracted. So this is the first attack. We've already destroyed 6 of the nodes, and this is the first time we've gotten attacked by the Scarab. So I would say we're doing fairly well. Nothing yet that I'm really worried about. They've only kind of taken out a tiny bit of our base defense. So again, you're going to be able to do this mission relatively easily if you just there's no time to be idle. You want to make sure you're doing something. So I recommend always going out, venturing out to do something, and then going back to your base in between attacks. And remember, when we start to attack the Scarab, you're going to want to make sure that you're always moving, anticipating that searchlight beam. Going to send these Scorpions down because we are getting attacked down at our southern flank. Going to start taking out those Hunters. Hunters and Locusts are the ones that you're going to want to focus down. Making sure we can take out that. As I said, get that Field Armory. You're not going to get a lot of tech. You're going to get some tech. But just enough to make sure that you're able to beat this mission and get some get some extra damage in, or get some extra units. I'm going to throw down the first Mac Blast right here, right on its neck. That's where you do the most damage. They gave you 2 right off the bat, so you're going to want to throw that second one down as fast as possible. Then it's going to be on cooldown. So we got maybe 1/10 of its health right there off those 2 Mac Blasts. I'm going to make sure we can get that medium turret, the reinforcements, and you're going to want to get reserves just in case. We have our 9 Scorpions. We are going to time that searchlight, and then we're going to go out and take out the last node. Making sure we're keeping an eye on that searchlight, and then once it passes by, we are free to engage with our Scorpions and take out that last node right at the most eastern part of the map. You have plenty of Scorpions. They have the best upgrades, so just toss down canister shells whenever you can. Locusts don't do jack against Scorpions, so feel free to just target down those Hunters, because those are going to be the units that you're going to want to focus fire, because they are going to be the ones that do the most damage. Focus firing those not the Scorpions, but the Hunters. And once those are down, you can start taking out the turrets nearby. Looking good. There's the black box around with a bunch of supplies. We are going to hide in this little corner of the map right here. We are about to get that next pass from the searchlight beam. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to separate those Scorpions. That way they don't get targeted down. There's Forge. We're going to go grab more supplies. You're never going to want to turn down free supplies around the map. They give you plenty of supplies. I think this is, again, around 700 supplies to kind of mess around with to help you out. Going to get that large turret. Going to get more supplies. Here we have more of our guys ready to go. Just sitting there kind of hiding behind that little hill. Cool thing is that the Scarab won't target anything around behind terrain, so it kind of helps us out. We're going to grab that skull with Forge, and there we have both the black boxes, and the black box and the skull. So during this time, what I like to do is I like to kind of split them up. Split up your Scorpions, that way they're kind of focusing down both sides of the Scarab, that way you're doing the most damage. Gonna send Forge right back to base. And kind of checking up. We do have our reinforcements ready. Do not keep your forces in front of the light. That's how you lose your units fairly quickly. Use your canister shell as much as you can. Sorry, I just can't. Again, I'm trying to figure out why I can't talk right now. But focusing down the Scarab. Use your canister shell whenever you can. If you do have Mac Blast, use that whenever you can as well. It's just gonna really be helpful by taking out this Scarab as fast as possible. Again, that's what the goal of all this has been. Taking out this Scarab as fast as you possibly can. So once you kind of fight through all the beginning waves of units, these attacks start to become a little pitiful, and they start to just you don't really have to worry about anything. As you can see, with just 5 Scorpions, I've already taken it down to about a quarter health. So Scorpions is definitely the way to go if you're trying to use those Warthogs like I have done in previous videos. I would highly recommend going Scorpions. They just do way more damage, and you're going to be able to get this done much faster.
Local units.
Looks like they are trying to just take out more of the terrain, just for fun.
Turret upgrade.
Just checking up on everything over here. We can use our Mac Blast here if you would like. Otherwise, kind of just sit here on standby. You don't really have, you only get one Mac Blast. That sucks. You don't really get to upgrade it. So, as I said, field upgrades, reserves, your large turret, and reinforcements. Nothing else you can do. So about halfway dead. So this is where it starts to get a little interesting, because as the health of the Scarab goes lower, that's how the units start to get triggered. So the attacks on your base just start to come one after the other. So checking up on our base here, looks like those enemies just really just get destroyed. Losing things to talk about. We have another attack. Those railguns doing their thing. There's nothing more I can say about this other than just keep doing the same thing you're doing. Bring in those tanks, canister shell, Mac Blast. Check back on your base a little bit just to make sure you're not getting absolutely destroyed. Gonna take out that turret really fast. As you can see, those locusts don't even get set up before the railguns, the turret railguns, do their damage. Making sure that we're not having any of the scorpions in the back line not doing anything. Always make sure your scorpions are doing something. Even one scorpion does a little bit more damage than if you didn't have them in there at all. So, gonna throw out more canister shells. So those scorpions actually, so at a certain point you're doing so much damage, the waves of enemies coming at your base just get so intense. I'm gonna actually show you guys in a few moments. There it is. That's one of the attacks, and that's multiple waves of attacks just attacking our, this base. But even though you're getting attacked like really badly, you're going to be able to handle it simply because of those large turrets. Gonna send those scorpions in, use our canister shell. Took it down good percent there. Head back to our base. Looks like they took down one of the turrets. Gonna get another Scarab out. Not Scarab, but a Scorpion. Checking up on our damage here. Good damage output. We're going to head back to base with these 6 scorpions, because the 6 scorpions right here will finish the mission for us. I'm going to send Fortune just for some good measure. Oh, they actually, the scorpion, not the scorpion, I'm mixing them up now. The Scarab actually burned through that defense, so we're going to be able to just head back to our base. As I said, this mission is fairly easy. It just takes a lot of practice, getting the timing right, making sure you're not just sitting there idly waiting. But that's really quick. I think we beat this in just under par time, or within par time. That way you get the extra bonus points for beating it fairly quickly. So if par time is 12 minutes, we did it in about 16. We got that gold medal, as I said. I hope this video was helpful, even though I rambled quite a bit. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time for Ender's Signal.